Dirty mouth? Orbit clean. I couldn't think of anything else to do, so. What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. I just watched Orbiter 9. And I'm sorry it took me so long to get to this movie. I watched 2 Netflix films yesterday and then Blockers last night. I have reviews for all of those on my channel. So tired. But I finally got to Orbiter 9 and I was very excited to talk about it. If you guys don't know how my reviews work, I like to talk about the good, the bad, and then give you my score. Let's talk about the good. First off, I was very impressed with this movie. I did not know what to expect going in. It's a foreign film, so it's one of those movies, if you're too lazy to read subtitles, you might not like it. And hey, I'm not faulting you for it. I'm lazy, but I don't mind that, and I really enjoy foreign films, especially when they're creative like this one. I don't think this movie's perfect, but definitely something that wasn't a flaw was the acting. I thought the acting was all very impressive. I liked our lead female and our lead male. The side characters were good, and really the story itself is something that took me by surprise. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but there is a twist, a major twist. Maybe it was spoiled in the trailer. I did not watch the trailer. I went into this movie completely blind, and I'm so glad that I did, but I really love the concept of what's happening in this film. The shots were all composed very well, and I thought this was very well directed. I really am excited to see what this director does next. That's about it for the non-spoilers. I usually don't do spoilers, but I feel like I can't talk about this movie without spoiling some things, so you will see spoilers right next to me until they are over. Okay, the twist here is so good. I loved it. It caught me off guard and I did not expect it. She is being used by this government facility to test these things, test this giant space program that they're going to launch eventually. I love that. I think that's fantastic. Then you have this guy that's going in here to test equipment and he ends up, of course, falling in love with her, and that's how the relationship buds. It's why he ends up coming back for her in the end and trying to break her out, which he does successfully. Face some hardships along the way. It's not a movie that's hard to figure out, but I really like the style of it and the execution. And with Netflix struggling in the sci-fi department, I am so glad they finally found one that really finds its footing. Early on in the film, I like the beginning when she's in the spaceship by herself, but when she breaks out is really when this movie kind of takes off. That's a pun. But it does a good job of establishing how she feels about things, her emotions towards certain situations, and then when she gets out and she realizes what is going on, and then she sees things for the first time on planet Earth, because of course, you have to have those scenes where she's doing these things for the first time. You really feel connected to her, and then you get into the whole cloning thing, and that makes you even more connected to her character. I really enjoyed her as a main character in this film. I like the conflict, I like the trials, and I really enjoyed what they did with the twists. While I think this movie was creative, it definitely wasn't perfect. There were some flaws. All right, let's start with the stupid nitpicks. I hate when movies do things that are so not conventional, but they do it because it looks cool. There's a scene where the door doesn't slide open. It doesn't open. It folds like this and it goes into the wall. It's like, that's so unconventional. It looks cool, but it's unconventional. It's not a negative. It's just me being, you know. Also, that same scene, some very clear Coke product placement. It did make me thirsty, so it did its job. And of course, you know who's coming in at the beginning. It's not going to be some random normal guy scientist. No, it's got to be one of the best looking guys they could hire. Here's what they said. They said, let's get this really good looking guy to go in there so she'll fall in love. And I'm not talking about the people that sent him in. I'm talking about the people that wrote the script. Because, I mean, if I went in there and a girl that has never seen anyone in the last 20 years other than her parents saw me, she'd be like, ew, never done anything like that before, but ew, it's not worth it. I'd be like, you know what? I completely understand. And man, does she go for it. I also don't like when sounds go off in this movie. I know it's an odd thing to critique, but it's the most obvious generic sounds. Like when there's an alarm in the spaceship at the beginning, you hear the dun, dun. That's literally my iPhone alarm clock. And that kissing in the rain scene, we've seen it before. We saw it last year with Blade Runner 2049. I thought it was done better then, but you know, she has to try things for the first time, so it's on my skin. There were some moments and some scenes that went on a little bit too long. There's like a 20-25 minute span in the middle of the film where I'm like, okay, let's pick it up. I get it. She's doing all this stuff. It's really slowing down for me. And it's okay when movies do that for like 5 minutes and they pick right back up, but this thing had like a 20-minute span where I'm just like, okay, slowing down. And the shots when she's first coming out of Orbiter 9 and you see the light around her and she's moving like this, I did not like when they were slowed down. It looked a little cheesy to me. Just have her walk around seeing these things, but you have those slow moving shots and the weird transitions. I thought that was a little jarring. It was an odd directing choice. So my problems with this movie are less on a script level and more on a technical level. I also thought the score could have been a little bit more impactful. I liked it, but I really wanted that oomph, especially at the end. And the ending, let's talk about that real quick. I did not dislike it, but it will definitely have some people confused. I definitely think that was their daughter, for sure. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like Helena and the mechanic never really leave Orbiter 9. I feel like they stay there forever. But then you hear that rocket go over her head, and now maybe that's just a sound effect, but she looked up, she heard something, and I definitely think they were successful. Whether or not her parents leave Orbiter 9, we don't know, but I like the fact that they added that in there, and it left you pretty satisfied with the ending. Guys, I don't think this movie is revolutionary. It's not something that's going to change the game in terms of sci-fi movies, but when you're comparing this to other sci-fi Netflix original films, this thing is very darn impressive. A little slow at times, the pacing's a little off every now and then, but overall, I was satisfied. I had a good time watching it, and I'm going to give Orbiter 9 a 73%, my second 73% of the day. It's the same score I gave Blockers. Today's comment spotlight comes to us from Jack Harrington commenting on my Blockers review. He is saving his money for Infinity War and A Quiet Place. Thank you so much, Jack, for always commenting on my videos. I really appreciate it. As always, check the links in the description for my Stardust page, my Letterboxd page, and MovieBabbleReviews.com. Every now and then when you look on an article, you're gonna see my big old head pop up, but they have some great movie-related stuff on there, so be sure to go check that out. You guys are the absolute best, and I will catch you later.